Welcome, my weekend warriors, to Weekendology podcast, episode number 36. This is the only podcast with the hottest takes, the best talking points, and the stories to spark your weekend conversations, where we're covering the best topics from music, movies, sports, food, and more. So I'm your host, Will Deichley, alongside Aaron Berg. Aaron, what's shaking today, buddy?
Hey, just getting ready for the weekend.
Yeah, it is the weekend, almost. It is Friday. As Thursday as we record is Friday as we
and as you
this.
Listen, it's the weekend.
Exactly.
So congratulations.
Well, we said last week every day is the weekend.
Pretty much.
So we don't have to ever worry about never not having it be the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to do. Just sit in the house all day.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Still,
it's the same stuff over and over. So every day's your weekend.
Life is just a giant rerun.
Oh, where'd you hear that from?
Made it up.
Oh, wow, that should be like a billboard or bumper sticker or something.
I mean, yeah.
Life is just a giant rerun. All
That
right.
doesn't, is that depressing? I mean,
it's a little depressing.
Reruns
but
they can be good though. I was watching Big Bang Theory last night, which, for the record, that's a good show. So don't come at me like all you Big Bang Theory haters. But
it gets old after a while.
It's better with reruns, let me tell you. So if you look at it from that perspective, that's a good thing.
All right. I'll take your word for it. I won't ever watch Big Bang Theory for reruns, but I'll take your word for it.
Missing out on just comedy gold.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, we want to thank all of our returning listeners for joining us again this week. And if you're new to the show, welcome. This show is all about changing, improving, and making things better as we cover all the best topics from around the pop culture and the sports world. We're collaborating with the Big Red World and Colin Kessler, a podcasting network. They've got some good podcasts like The House That Rick Built and Six Drunk, One Sober. Check them out on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter as well, because we love the social media publicity. We're on Weekendology Pod on Twitter and wherever you listen to podcasts. So drop us a line, show your support, suggest some ideas on some episode topics you want us to cover. Make sure to rate and subscribe on Spotify and Apple. It really helps us get noticed and keep delivering some great content to you weekend warriors, because that's what we love to do, is capture all of our crazy debates and things we want to change.
We love you and we love publicity.
Exactly. And we love the weekend as much as humanly possible. So don't forget to browse our latest episode where we talk about how the MLB can salvage a 2020 season.
Yeah, I've been waiting for this one.
Jury is still out on this. So
yeah, still. And guess what? Guess who was right? Colin Cowherd.
Colin Cowherd was right.
No, he wasn't right. Because he's
right?
always wrong. I was right.
What did?
Because they still haven't figured it out.
I predicted they wouldn't have. They wouldn't.
You
figure
predicted
it out
lockout.
I did. I am still predicting a lockout.
They're so close. It's gonna get done. But let me tell you something before we move on. I'm sick and tired of checking Twitter and all these sources come out. They're really close to a deal. It came out like 3 a.m. last night. As we record on Thursday, so like Wednesday night, Thursday morning. That they're gonna sign, they're ready to go, and it's just like, nope, that's fake news.
They're not ready to go, and it's
I'm getting tired of it. Make a decision, just play.
Check out the episode as we break it all down, and it's pretty relevant to still, even a couple weeks later, that everything's happening. So
spoiler alert: Colin Cowherd is wrong.
Colin Cowherd is wrong. So that's all you need to know to take away from that episode. This episode is sponsored by Lionfish Promotions. If you or your business are in need of some cool swag to give out to employees, clients, or even build the brand of your business, Lionfish Promotions has you covered. They offer literally every kind of item, from pens to notebooks to cups and mugs. So check them out. They have anything that you want your name or logo or face on, whatever it is.
How swaggy are we talking here?
Pretty swaggy, like Swaggy P level.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's pretty swaggy. So
So you can shoot a 3 and walk away and it'll rim out?
Exactly. But unlike that one, your order is going to get received and you're going to get delivered some quality product.
Oh.
See how I turned that one around?
So it's like Golden State Warriors swaggy P.
Exactly.
You end up with a championship.
Yeah, you end up with a championship. So, feel free to check them out. They've got everything covered for you. They're on lionfishpromotions.com. Use the code WEEKEND to get 10% off of your first purchase as well. So, tell them.
Or just mention me or Will.
Yeah.
That works too.
Yeah. Use Weekendology. Check us out. We'd appreciate it. So, Aaron, it's my favorite time of the year. Summer is officially in full swing now. Do you got any summer plans or anything you want to try and do this summer?
I mean, I did. but it's kind of
A
hard
long
to do
time
that
ago,
now. Yeah,
in a galaxy
4
far
months
away.
ago, when I thought the world was just this great place with lots to do, and then you're like, oh, actually, no, I can't do anything.
Well, what's something you want to do,
better,
like in the lockdown to?
As soon as this stuff ends, I mean, and it's getting better, so
You're losing your mind.
I mean, I'm not gonna act like I'm staying inside constantly. Like, I'm doing a little bit more, but I went kayaking last week, so
there you go.
that was fun.
That's still socially distant, You
yeah.
just go out by yourself on the water and
I'm trying to
nature.
do stuff like that. Get out of the house, do little by little, but just be smart. Like,
There you go.
I'm just gonna go somewhere though. That's my plan. Once this stuff really gets under control, I'm just gonna go
Any
on a
like
trip.
vacation ideas
Yeah,
or
I mean,
somewhere?
Anywhere. I mean,
Anywhere.
I don't know.
The desert.
Well, we're going to St. Louis in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we are.
so
We're heading
I
back
guess
up to
that
St.
kinda
Louis
counts.
for 4th of July and everything. So.
It's not kind of a vacation for you because from.
I mean, it's still kind of a vacation. Time off work, so
Yeah.
any time off work is a vacation for me, especially in
that's true.
today's day and age. So one thing I want to do a little bit more of is like barbecue or grill outside. Definitely get to some more patio spots.
On your new George Foreman grill.
Yeah, I got a brand new George Foreman grill, so break that in, and I
It could
think
be a sponsor one day.
hopefully.
It's a great grill.
Isn't he in prison or something? Or
No, George Foreman.
I thought he went to jail.
I mean, maybe a million years ago.
Maybe he.
Yeah, I think like in the 70s he got. I mean,
way back then he was in some legal trouble, but I'd love to hit up some patio spots at restaurants with no fear of some guy hacking his lungs out next to me, trying to infect me with some sort of death plague or something. So but with restaurants attempting to make a comeback, we thought it'd be a high time to maybe give our takes on the things that we really just can't stand about some restaurants and how we can change and improve
what really
them.
grinds my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears? One thing I actually have to note before we move on is there's this guy on YouTube. His YouTube name is Real Life Peter Griffin, and he looks and sounds exactly like
seen
Peter
that guy.
Griffin. Oh, you have?
Well, I don't. I'm probably not going to know the video you're talking about, but I can picture him. I've seen the picture of this
Okay,
man.
yeah, he does a bunch of videos, but he does like what grinds my gears and like some
Yeah, I haven't
skits
seen
from
those.
Family Guy,
I need to
and
get on
they're
that.
hilarious. Yeah, check him out. But he looks exactly like Peter Griffin. He sounds like him. It's everything.
Oh,
Dresses
wow.
like him. It's perfect.
I've seen the picture where they put him side by side.
Yeah.
It's exactly like him, but I haven't heard his voice.
He did a funny grinds my gears.
Oh,
though, so
I'm
check it
on
out.
that.
Yeah, go look over that. But
Hey, Lois, you know what really grinds my gears?
oh wow,
That wasn't great.
that was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I could do better.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I wasn't warmed up,
Okay, all right. Well, we'll check back at the end of the episode for when you are warmed up. You got the pipes going. The episode is like your warm up.
I don't have the New England accent though.
No,
That's what makes it tough.
That's a
There's
tough
a wrench
one.
in it.
Well, I think this episode is more about kind of the things that we really just can't stand about restaurants. And to preface this can be literally anything across the board: service, decor, food quality, anything that you don't like about restaurants. We were going
Bring
to
on the
cover
hate.
it. Yeah, we're attacking the restaurant industry, but we're also going to give them tips on how they can change and improve them.
So we're like John Taffer.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's great.
He might as well just hire us right now. Then
Hey, hop on the pod.
hop on the podcast
The
here.
the guest door is open.
We'd love to have you. So let's start it off big. Aaron, what's your first thing that you hate
Oh, I'm
about
first.
restaurants? Yeah,
Oh, okay.
You're
Oh.
always first in my book.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. So number one, I have, and I know. Okay, some of the stuff I'm going to preface this now. Some of the stuff I'm going to say, some are doing already. So this isn't like, oh, I didn't know they were doing this. I know they're doing this, but this needs to be every restaurant, every bar. They need to get on this trend. So number one, online check-in.
Ooh,
So,
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
I don't like that. No.
Okay, well, tell me why. And then then
I
we
just
could debate.
because sometimes it
some
messes
skip and
up
shame.
the online check-in, and then you go there
The
and you're
online
like,
check-in messes up the online check-in.
exactly. Or when you go there, they're like, we have no record of your check-in or reservation or anything or something like that. And it's like, well, I checked in on the restaurant.
Has this
their
happened
website.
to you?
Yes, it has.
Where?
I can't remember exactly where.
Okay, I don't believe you then.
Okay.
So,
I don't
Sport
believe you.
Clips,
Oh,
which
that's not a restaurant.
no, but another place, not a great place to get your hair cut, but it's serviceable. Okay,
Okay.
it's like Big Bang Theory. People rip on it all the time, but you're really looking on their surface. It's decent.
All
It's
right.
pretty good.
All right.
And it's like an Old Faithful, but they do online check-in. Great Clips does it too. They suck though, so that doesn't count. But Sport Clips is really good. Like they're very efficient. They've never missed my order, or my check-in, I should say. And it
one haircut, please.
But it's exactly.
Hold the mayo.
Hey, some give you beer at the.
That is true.
Floyd's Barbershop, they give you beer and you wait.
Nice.
But yeah, it streamlines, if I can say it correctly, the process. It just makes it easier. You can be driving to the place, checking on your phone, boom, you don't even have to wait. So I think like if all these restaurants had that, instead of half the time you call in, hey, I want a reservation. Oh, we don't take reservations. Which also, I'm tired of people saying we don't take reservations.
I don't like that either.
But then they do call ahead. It's like it's the same thing. It's semantics.
We don't accept reservations. You just have to show up and wait. So.
But I think, especially for the more like casual restaurants, not anything fancy, do online check-in. It would make it easier. That way too, COVID, you're not having a million people waiting in line.
That's true.
Hours sitting next to each other, or even just waiting outside and they're all standing around. You don't have to deal with the buzzer not working.
I hate that once like the buzzer just doesn't work, or
the fact that like everyone has a cell phone, and I mean I notice a lot of places will text you now.
Yeah.
Which is good, but the stupid buzzer, man. I've had that happen to me at a Chili's one time.
Oh dang.
Where they gave me a broken buzzer. I waited an hour and a half and I'm like, all right, there's no way this is that long. Went up, I'm like, hey, you need to check this out. And they looked at it. Got the manager over, looked at it. And, oh, sorry, it was broken. Like, come on, man. Like, they didn't even cop the meal.
We gave your table away,
I'm at Chili's, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you're lucky I'm here.
Well, one thing I don't really like is too many items on the menu. I've been to a fair few restaurants.
Cheesecake Factory, we're looking at you.
Yes, that have... We don't need 100 menu items to choose from.
Yeah.
We don't need...
Chinese restaurants, we're looking at you too.
600 different areas to look for. We just need 15 to 20 really solid options. Focus on that, and then I don't want to have to read an encyclopedia for my menu. Encyclopedia. I don't really like no distinct identity for the restaurant either.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
So a lot of the restaurants try and be some weird fusion restaurants or something. Like fusion restaurants are usually bad. Like we don't need Mexican.
Wait, are you ripping on fusion restaurants as a whole, or are you ripping on like Cheesecake Factory, where it's like we do barbecue and we do burgers and then we do Asian food and then we do Italian food?
The restaurants that claim that they're fusion, but they're not actually a fusion restaurant.
Like what?
They have exactly what you said. They serve Mexican and then they also serve like Italian food and then Japanese food out of left
but
field.
I feel like the restaurants that claim they're fusion. So I went to one when I lived in Arizona, and they had, I forget the name of the restaurant. I thought it was pretty good, but it was weird. It was sushi, but like Mexican fusion. So they did like,
that's weird.
It was really weird, but it was decent. But yeah, it was sushi with like Mexican ingredients in the sushi,
That's fine.
So it's Mexican Japanese fusion.
Yeah, if you're combining certain styles together, but you have literally...
That's what I think of when I think of
10
fusion.
things of Mexican, 10 things of Japanese food, everything like different cultures.
I don't think restaurants call themselves fusion if they do that. I think they're just like, we have everything on the menu.
Them. I call them bad. That's what I call them. So
yeah, I think fusion is more like when they like try to put them together in the same meal.
Oh, well.
Where it's like, hey, we took two crazy ideas and like combined them, which I agree with you. I think that's gross. Like it can get too weird. It's like, come on, you're trying too hard,
I agree.
But the Mexican sushi place closed, by the way.
And well, there you go. That's probably
why.
Too many things on the menu and too not focusing on what they do.
Well, and I think too, it sounds good, and the first time you have it, you're like, wow, this is crazy. And then you go there a couple times, you're like, okay, this is weird. Like, you're never going to crave those two things at once. No. So after that kind of wears off, you're going to be like, all right, I'm done. Like,
yeah,
this is,
I don't know.
This actually is gross.
All right, what's another one you got that you don't like in restaurants?
But I agree with you wholeheartedly. If you're going with, I'm going to call that the cheesecake.
All right, the cheesecake phenomenon.
Cheesecake Factory.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, is it a phenomenon? That sounds too nice.
I don't know.
Conundrum. Is that the right word? Let's go with that.
All right,
that sounds good to me.
The Cheesecake Factory conundrum.
Yeah,
that's a conundrum.
That's a major issue. And yes, Cheesecake Factory, for the record, grinds my gears so much. It's super average food because they don't focus on one thing except cheesecake, but their actual dinner, they don't pick something, so everything is just blah. And it's just, ugh.
It's just blah.
It's just terrible. And then they come over like you picked something in 10 minutes. Like, bro, do you see this menu? Like,
you know they have 2 menus now too. They have a diet menu and then a regular menu. But the
diet
menu is still like 5 pages long and stuff. Yeah.
Like if you're on a diet?
It's called the skinny menu.
Why are you a Cheesecake Factory?
Exactly.
You're at a place with cake in the title.
Their portion size is enough to
That's like when they got Tyler Florence at Applebee's.
Oh God.
Come on, man. You don't need a 5-star chef making Applebee's. We know he's not in the kitchen.
Okay.
Like,
all right, what do you got? Hit me.
Number 2, improve the. Let's see, what do I got here?
Uh-oh.
I got a lot written down.
He has a lot,
and I'm all fired up because of Cheesecake Factory. This is gonna get me really fired up, and I hope so. I hope it does for you too, because this is really annoying. Everyone should be mad about this. The organization of bars.
How do you mean?
I mean, when you go up to the bar to get a drink, and it's really crowded. It's like Friday, Saturday night. 11 at night, it's packed. It always is. There's no organization, and this is very simple. Like, why has no one said, hey, if you're going to order, go right here. When you've placed your drink order, go over here. And I think this could change with...
This will definitely change with post-pandemic. Yeah.
Right. Because, like, they're going to have people, hey, you need to stand over here, 6 feet apart, all that stuff. Which is good. I hope this happens because it really needs to. And this should have happened years ago because, first of all, there's been tons of fights break out because people are, one, they're drunk, or they've been standing there for a long time. They're trying to just order a beer maybe, something very simple that it's not even like the bartender has to make a drink. They can just hand them the Bud Light. You're standing there for like half an hour, and then people are cutting in front of you. They're reaching over you. The bartender can't hear you.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's pretty annoying.
There's people at the bar where they already ordered, and then they start talking to their friends. There's people that have their drink, and they're standing right where you're supposed to order, talking to their friends. No, you need to get out.
Get out of the way. Yeah,
I can't tell if you ordered or not.
You're done ordering. Leave, that area and congregate with everybody else.
Yeah, it's a mess.
There should be probably better organization for it.
All you need is rope areas off, put a sign, you order here, you wait here, okay, you got your drink, you need to leave. You need to go stand somewhere else. It's very simple.
I'm up for that one too. So, one thing that I hate is bad service. Like the food can be
pretty general.
I
love bad service.
I hate bad service. Like, I don't mind if it's one thing if the food isn't very good, but it really irks me if the service.
You're going to be
restaurant,
a bad 70-year-old.
You damn kids!
It's taking 10 minutes for my food.
Take my order right now. But there should be no excuse for bad service. Customer experience is make or break for your restaurant, in my opinion. And there's too many places that you go that don't really care about giving you a satisfying customer experience. And that means giving good service is not just the food, but like reception and care given to everything, and welcoming the guests in and making sure that everything's copacetic and following through and giving them a good service, I guess. Because so many times like the waiters are not up to it, or really kind of being lame, and I don't know if there's an issue if there's something.
Pay them?
Well, yeah, like $4 an hour.
Yeah,
or
it's like under minimum wage.
Maybe that's something that's bad too.
I wouldn't try either.
Well, still,
and then people don't tip. The fact that here's another change I did not write down, and we might have talked about this in previous episodes. The whole hey, you can make your money off tips. That's like so bad. It's not commissions, dude.
Yeah, that's like
your tips aren't going to carry your salary into this livable wage or a good wage.
You're not going to be rich off of your tips unless you're.
And you could try the hardest you can possibly can and do the best job, and there's still going to be people who be like, not tipping.
I agree.
Here's $1.
I just don't think restaurants put enough stock into making sure that customer experience is a good one and following through with making sure that happens. So that's something that I hate.
Yeah, I mean, you see it, again, talking about John Taffer, on Bar Rescue, he always looks at the lack of passion, and it's always the servers or the bartenders, because they're serving average food. They're at an average bar. They're at an average restaurant.
It's really not that hard.
No, it's really not. Just smile. They always
Yeah.
tell them, they're like, all you have to do, smile, sound excited, hustle. That's it.
Exactly.
That's all you have to do.
Yeah, just go up like, hey, how you doing?
And
What's
that's not
your order?
hard as a
You know?
manager to get people to do that. And then guess what? If they're not doing it, see you later. Grab someone else. There's a million waiters and bartenders.
I mean, I
out
know it sucks when people are like, you didn't bring my ketchup when I asked for it 3 seconds ago. Or,
Right,
you have the
yeah.
Karens of the world who are like, oh my God. And yeah, it's tough to be in the service industry. I worked in the restaurant biz in high school.
there.
And
Ruby Tuesday.
sucked so bad. But here's one thing that you might not agree with: heat lamps. I do
yeah.
not like heat lamps at a restaurant. If
Okay, I will say though, like if you're going to a restaurant that has heat lamps, you should know the type of food you're eating.
exactly, but
Like, come on.
I've been in some like pretty decent restaurants that have heat lamps by the cooks
Yeah.
and the kitchen. And I'm like,
yeah,
if
when you
you're-
can see them, it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
If-
I want to pretend this is gourmet.
exactly. If you're serving fresh food and have good service, there's no need for you to have a heat lamp to keep things warm for any given length of time. You should just serve it right when it's fresh, right when it's out of the oven or ready to go, and then you're on to the next line.
Kind of like when I order chicken wings at any restaurant, I just want to pretend. I know they're frozen. I want to pretend
of
they're
course.
not frozen. I want to pretend they weren't sitting in the freezer for a year, and I
Oh,
want to pretend
God.
like the cooks back there are like chefs and they're making that buffalo
When
sauce.
I was coming up with this list, I was thinking back to all of the Kitchen Nightmares episodes from Gordon Ramsay that I've
Yeah.
seen, which is a lot of them, and I was like, well, yeah, this is something that should never happen in restaurants, and even Gordon would agree, and most sane, normal people would be like, yeah, that's not normal for most restaurants, at least here in America. So
I
don't know.
everywhere.
Yeah.
That's
I feel like America gets like more of the bad type of quality restaurants or like the stereotypes than European restaurants do or something.
well, yeah, but I think because we have the quick service stuff, we're all about like fast and quick and get food out. Quality doesn't matter as much.
That's true.
That kind of started here. I feel like with
Yeah.
McDonald's and all those kind of restaurants. And I think that's why they're so popular in Europe too, because their restaurants don't operate that way. So when they get an American one, they're like, "Ooh, we get our food quick."
Our Americans love our fast food or even just like fast casual stuff or
Yeah.
just, I don't know, crappy restaurants in
I mean,
general.
I gotta say, I'm not a huge chain guy. Not as I used to be. Like when I was in high school, I loved chain restaurants, but once in a while, I just love going to like an Applebee's or one of those. It just feels good.
Hard pass. I don't know.
Okay,
I
la
don't
dee I'm too good.
I
for
feel like you
those.
could find just as equal.
I love spending $80 on a meal.
Okay, when the last time I ever spent anything more than like $40 on a meal, we went to like a really nice white tablecloth restaurant.
I'm trying to think. Okay, wait. Chick-fil-A. You love Chick-fil-A.
But that's fast food, though.
Well, yeah, but get off your high horse there, buddy, because Chick-fil-A is not that good.
When I'm talking about like quality of restaurants or anything too, like a lot of the restaurants are like.
So you don't go to any chain restaurants?
I mean,
I'm not saying these are great. I'm just saying, like, once in a while.
I don't prefer going to them though.
Once in a while?
Because I feel like there's so many different places.
You don't ever feel like hitting up like a Buffalo Wild Wings or?
No, not really.
Oh my god!
The last time I went to Buffalo Wild Wings, I got like diarrhea or something afterwards. Like it was.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
I got super sick.
It tastes so good when it's going in,
It didn't even taste that good either.
No.
So
Wingstop's better, I will say.
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I feel like for the quality or for the quantity of restaurants that are out there, they're so saturated with how many different kinds of restaurants there is. I feel like that there's always something better than going to like a standard chain restaurant.
I will say though, to defend chains for a second, because everyone loves ripping on chains. Sounds good, but like with chains, you know what you're gonna get. I don't ever go. I love Applebee's, so I'm gonna use that as an example. But as much as I love Applebee's, I'd never go thinking, "Oh, this is gonna be amazing." It's amazing to me because I really like their mozzarella sticks. I like their boneless buffalo wings. I like their quesadillas. Appetizer sampler is where it's at. The quesadilla burger's good. But I never go where I'm like, this is incredible food, and I need to just, I'm not going to tell people about it like I told people about like Gordon Ramsay's restaurant, But I know every time I go, it's going to be decent. I've never gone, I'm like, this is disgusting. Unless they like undercook my food or something.
That's true. Yeah.
Like, I know what I'm going to get. I'm going to get good quality, just decent dinner, what I'm looking for. Whereas like I've been to these steakhouses or these so-called,
let's call them
fancy
indie restaurants or something,
right?
Not really like super fancy, but like the same kind of food.
I'll pay $50 for a dinner sometimes and be so disappointed. I'm like, why did I spend that money on that? It wasn't even that good. So I feel like there's less error in the chain restaurants, whereas you do take a bigger risk with some of these, quote unquote fancy restaurants.
So what do you usually order when you go to like a quote unquote nice restaurant?
Steak.
Okay, so that's
typical.
Standard, you don't go and order something dumb like I don't know.
I'm not going to get a burger at one of these unless I'm trying to be cheap, and then I'm getting like a $30 burger.
But if you're going to like a nice restaurant or something, you order. I always ask for like what the chef recommends or the specials.
I try to get stuff I can't usually get.
Yeah,
because I don't go that often. So or like duck or lamb or things that
So you do it right then. Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Most people will go and order something that they always usually get and be like, it was bad. Because you ordered the same thing you can get at Chili's or something.
Right.
So.
Yeah, well, and too, I feel like if you're going to order something that's like $20 or 30, fish is something I find weird when people go to steakhouses and order that. And especially like, something like trout, let's say. You can get that anywhere,
True.
And especially at ones that like aren't on the coast. So it's kind of like you're paying for what you get,
Yeah, I get you. I don't like the reservation issues at some of the restaurants. Now you talk about like the online check-in and everything. I'm talking about situations where you already have a reservation, and when you get to the restaurant, your table isn't ready, or your reservation kind of vanishes from the guest list or whatever.
Online check-in can solve that.
Well, that's potential, but I don't know how you lose the reservation or how the table isn't ready. You know when I'm coming. Like sometimes I make reservations days in advance. So you look at the guest list on that morning when you open. You're like, all right, we have a certain amount of people coming at 6:00 tonight. We have to make sure that these tables are ready. Mm-hmm. So let's get on it. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten to a restaurant like, I'm sorry, your table's not ready. You have to wait another 20 minutes. I'm like, why did I make a reservation then?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Defeats the purpose.
Exactly. What do you got? Anything else?
I mean, well, I think with that, like, that's because something happened. I mean, I'm sure it's because sometimes people didn't do something, but I feel like that's because like people were really messy. It took longer to clean, or maybe they're understaffed that night. I feel like there's other factors preventing that.
Maybe.
I don't like when you can tell when you're on the phone with them and you can tell like they didn't pay attention to what you said.
Exactly.
And they're like,
I'm
come
pretty
on,
critical.
like it's not hard to put in 5 people. And this time it's very simple. Same. Well, going to online check-in, when you order food online, I hate that when they put in the notes and it's like, do you have any special requests? And I'll say something really simple like, no tomato, something like that. They still put a tomato on. Like, why do you have that box in there?
So it's really not that hard.
It's right
to
there.
Read the order,
so that I would say like, and again, you get what you pay for. They're always at like cheap places, but. Not hard.
No,
and that, again, goes back to
I
management,
agree.
what we were talking about.
Let's see what else you got. Anything?
So, yes, I have going with kind of what you were talking about before. The management, the whole fiasco with, employees and waiters giving bad service. Have you seen these, the pay at your table kiosk little things?
Yeah, I've seen them before.
So, you don't, wow, geez, you sound like you hate those.
No, I've seen them.
You sound like the worst thing in the world.
I mean, sometimes they just don't work, so.
Oh
yeah.
Okay. Well, just ask her a new one.
Well,
this doesn't work. I don't know what to do.
Just dilutes the customer experience, Aaron.
There you go, man. I can't wait in 50 years, man. You're never gonna go out to eat.
No, I will.
You're gonna be like, their service is terrible everywhere.
No, I will. I'm just a little bit more critical about restaurants because I've worked in one before, so.
You worked at Ruby Tuesday.
I know.
Again,
the worst restaurant ever.
You should have known what you were getting yourself into.
I was a high school student. I didn't know any better.
Although I will say, like, the people that go there, like, I'm sure they made your life a living hell.
Oh, it was terrible, yeah.
Like, that's probably half the battle there because of people.
It was the worst thing.
But, so, you put those at every table. And then, with that, you're going to say, oh, wait, like, what do the waiters do? Here's what the waiters do. You cut the wait staff. So you only, and this could, again, with coronavirus, you can do this. You can have like 3 waiters at a time. You don't need 12. So you could pay those 3 waiters more. But then you're going to say, well, why would I pay those 3 waiters more? What are they going to be doing if I could just order and pay and do everything at my table. They're going to be the experts. So think of it like when you're at a fancy restaurant and they bring over like the sommelier and he tells you all the fancy wines and he knows everything about them. They could be the food sommeliers where they come over and they're like, hey, I know everything about the menu, the ins and outs. I've actually tried everything. It's not one of these dopes who come over and you're like, hey, what's good here? Everything's good. I hate that.
I hate that
like,
for servers.
No, dude. Like, I need an opinion. Or, hey, which would you order between these two? I love when people are honest and they actually give me an answer to that question. Because, like, that's what I asked. Like, I'm not going to... If someone picks one, I'm not going to be like, oh, I don't know. Like, I gave you the two options. Like, don't tell me both.
But my favorite is when they say, well, actually, I wouldn't order either of those, because then you either choose two of the worst options on the menu, or the food sucks across the board.
It's like, why do you work here?
And they're subtly telling you, get the hell out right now.
But I like when they
Save
pick
yourself.
one. I do like when they're honest and they say this because this other one's bad. At least that, hey, I can trust you then, because you've actually tasted it.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. They need to do that where, like, they actually know... It's going to take a little bit to hire these people because I think they're going to have to know food a little better. But you hire 3 of them, and then that way they're more the experts. Because you're always going to have people, especially old people.
I'm on board with that.
With questions and with, well, working at Ruby Tuesday, did you ever get someone asking like a really weird off-the-wall question about food?
Yeah. It's like somebody asked if they could get their burger done. And I'm like, how do you want it? And they're like, well, can I get it like burnt to a crisp? I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, I don't recommend that. It's not really usually how burgers are served. It's like, no, I want it burnt to a crisp. I'm like, what?
Well, I guess I mean, like, did you ever get like someone asking you like about ingredients, or maybe not because it's Ruby Tuesday?
No, because that was before like whole gluten and phase and everything. But I've been to restaurants where people have been like, well, I can't eat any of this because I'm allergic to wheat, dairy, gluten, and everything else. And she's like, well, what aren't you allergic to? She's like, I'm allergic to everything. Do you have a menu that fits me? And they're like, no, we can't help you. And
I mean, I'm not saying those people don't suck because they do.
They do,
but like, I think with the waiters more as experts rather than just food runners.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I think
agree.
that would just be fantastic because then if I'm like, hey, tell me about this food. I think too that business will
yeah,
go
because
up.
then they can recommend like the dishes with the ingredients that are freshest or the most fresh in season as well, or they can say, okay, well, what are you drinking tonight? And then you say, oh, I want a glass of red wine. You say, oh, I choose the braised short rib. It goes really well with this wine and stuff.
Yep.
And then you upsell, and then you make more money. Then
exactly.
Too.
And why can't you do that at like a chain restaurant? Like you should be able to. They all sell, different types of liquor, different types of wine, whatever. You could do this at every restaurant. It wouldn't be that hard. And like I said, it's kind of a win-win because you're cutting costs. You're hiring less waiters, but you're hooking them up, you're paying them more, and also you're going to get more passionate people that know more instead of just kids who are like, I don't know. Like,
I'm on board for that. I can get on board with that. One thing I really hate is, you ever been to a restaurant there you just have like the worst lighting possible, where you literally can't see anything in the restaurant?
I think that's a problem with these fancier restaurants. Because they try to be like, ooh, we're mood lighting.
Yeah,
it's like,
I'm fine for mood lighting.
You got to pull out your flashlight on your phone.
Sometimes it's literally so damn dark. I feel like I'm trying to order like from Bruce Wayne's Batcave or something. Like I literally cannot see anything, and I sound super old when I say this, but I'm like, oh, I can't see anything on the menu. Or I've been to restaurants where the lighting it's so bright, you get like a migraine from it, and it's like literally the sun shining right in your face. You're like, why is it so bright in here? I feel weird or something.
How old are you?
This happened. I've been to a lot of restaurants, so this happens. Okay.
Oh man,
I'm telling you, bad lighting. I'm
see at Applebee's they close the blinds.
Oh, okay, yeah, because they don't want anybody looking in at the horrors that are.
No, they don't want to see how great
untangling.
the food looks, and then the place is packed. No social distancing,
or they want to hide the fact that the real lighting behind the food, and people are like, "This is what it looks like." Oh no!
Shine a certain type of lighting on it. Whoa!
Yeah. Whoa! This is really what it is. One thing I hate is serving food in a gimmicky way. So I've been to restaurants where they come to the table side and cut your steak for you, or they serve it in like this weird boat thing, or there's like, I went to a place where they had a shish kebab and they served it on like a dangling hook or something. I'm like, This is
what
super
restaurants
scary.
are you going to?
It was one where my parents and I went down into Florida. It was.
Well, that's why.
It was at like Universal Studios.
Oh,
though,
that's
or
exactly
something.
why. Okay,
Well,
come on, man. That's
But it was
first
like-
of all, you're in Florida. Second of all, you're at Universal Studios. They're doing like
But I mean,
stuff
it was
for
like
the kids.
it should have been like a regular bar and grill or something.
Yeah.
And they're like serving a
It's like,
shish
just give me my
kebab with
food.
like literally hanging like a freaking meat hook or something. Like
I'm just
something out of a
picturing
horror
you like
movie.
sitting there, and like the fat guy on the treadmill with like the food. Like I'm picturing you like with the food like dangling in front of you. You're just like swinging in your face, and you're like, I just want my food. Just give me that. Like,
Not quite, but some restaurants just love like a gimmick that they serve the
Yeah.
food in, or some sort of like attention grabber.
or they put a bunch of stuff on the plate, like all the
the
what's
97 different vegetables, like salad and
Yeah,
tomatoes
or
and stuff.
what's the word
and
I'm trying to think of? Like the green, the
garnish,
garnish.
yeah.
That you can't even eat it. And it's like, come on, like
Yeah.
I don't need all.
I don't
that.
need 2/3 of my plate filled with garnish, and then the next.
Especially when you're eating stuff that like isn't that fancy, or at a restaurant that's not that fancy, and they try to like trick it up and make it look good. It's like I'm just
They
here to
do
eat
that
this.
with the water glasses. With like the water glasses are super small sometimes.
Yeah.
And so you're sitting there and you're
they
like,
don't put ice in them.
I'd like some more water. 3 seconds later, that was one sip.
And they don't just
I need
give
some
you the
more
water?
Yeah. They have to come by and fill it up, and it's like the water glass is like 3 inches tall.
Yeah.
Give me a bigger water glass. And
Yeah, you're like it's like a
this
shot
would,
glass.
This would be fine. So, what else you got on your?
So I got
on your
one
list?
more. Let's see. My last one. Drum roll, please. I'm
not
gonna
gonna do a drum roll.
say, create a board that shows the wait times. Are they doing this already? Because when I wrote this down, I wasn't sure if like this is a thing.
So it's like a chalkboard or something,
So-
or they
Well, I mean, we're 2020. I would assume we could do digital.
electronic board, I guess.
I mean, you could do chalk if you want to be.
Restaurants
old
are
school.
cheap though, so
You could put up. So I'm thinking think of the airport when you have like the flight times when flights are coming, like what flight, when it's landing, and then you have the projected landing time. If one's delayed, they change it. If it's canceled, they change it. If
okay,
it's,
yeah.
So on and so forth. They do that with food, so you can see who's ordered, when the order was placed, and you could track it. So you could see, okay, your steak's on the grill. Okay, this is 5 minutes longer. Okay, it's on the plate, and that way too. Talking about heat lamps, that way okay, if it's sitting there, and how many times have you been to a restaurant, you can tell your food's been sitting under a heat lamp or just sitting there. Period.
Lots
no one's
of
picked it
times.
up.
Yeah.
And bringing up bar rescue again, that's something they bring it up all the time, where kitchen gets overwhelmed, and I mean this is going to expose a lot of bad kitchens, but that way you can see, and it's just great customer service. But I think too, it's also a motivation for the wait staff to say, "Whoa, this has been sitting here," and we can see it on the screen.
I like that idea.
And they
too.
know, "Whoa, look, the customer can see that. I need to hustle because this looks bad."
See, this is great for when we open up our own restaurants and
Exactly.
everything.
Yeah, we got it down pat.
We're doing a barbecue restaurant or something. So
Yes, the barbecue restaurant is coming. So brace yourselves,
yeah,
everyone.
this is great ideas for our restaurant and any other restaurant that wants to do
Yep.
whatever. I like that idea. I can get
Yeah,
on
I
board
mean,
with that.
I'm sure there's restaurants doing that. If you know of them, let me know. But it just seems simple, like put it on a TV screen, something very easy, and then just update it. And I just think it looks good, and also it's definitely customer service, and it just shows, hey, look, we take pride in our food, we take pride in the work our cooks do and our waiters do, and it's going to organize everything too, because people are visual. Everyone's a visual, worker, so they're going to see that and say, okay, well, I'm basically on the clock. I need to get going here.
I'm up for
and
that.
And organization with seeing, no one's going to forget to order. It's right there.
Exactly.
I know what table to bring it to. It's right there on the screen.
I'm on board. You sold me. So
Yep. There
just
you go.
create the technology and
Where's the
patent
credit
it.
card?
There you go. Put the credit card down. One thing I really hate is weird ways to distinguish the men and women's restrooms too.
It's so random.
It's not random because
Like when you
go
go
to
to
a
a-
restaurant and it's like a spoon or a fork or something to delineate between man or woman,
Yeah.
or some sort of squiggly line, or farmer and cowgirl or something. If you go to like a country
You go to
barbecue restaurant,
Pluckers, and they have cocks and hens. which-
Exactly.
It's pretty funny,
I mean,
but like
it's dumb.
I
Just
gotta
put
think about it for a second.
man, woman, because sometimes I'm like, I don't understand what that symbol is. Is that for the men's restroom or is for the women's restroom? And I'm like, if I choose wrong, this is the end for me.
They put a picture like Steven Tyler on the door, and you're like, which one is this?
Exactly. So I really just, I don't like that. I also don't like dumb names that they give to menu items like Big Bob's Bacon Burger.
Man, you just are hating on the like kitschy restaurants.
Yeah, it's just screams
just
like,
give me just block print burgers, chicken, steak, potatoes.
I'm not
That's
just
all I
saying
want.
just burger, but like some sort of dumb name that they give to.
Yeah, some of those get really long, and then
Yeah.
okay. Tell me if this is what you is. This just me, or is this what you feel like too? Whenever that happens, I feel like almost embarrassed when
I'm not saying the name. Yeah,
yeah. It's when
way.
I'll be like, I'll have and you know what I'm talking about. If it's like a mushroom burger, but it's like Big Bob's Hearty Country Crazy Mushroom Blue Cheeseburger, and it's like, come on, dude, that's a mouthful. And then when out of respect, I will say the full name because I want to be nice, and I feel like that's what you're supposed to do. Because
like
I said,
servers are probably like, oh,
I
God.
feel weird. Yeah,
I know,
and
what
I
you
feel
want.
like it's either like when you don't do it, they're gonna be like, come on, man, say the name of the burger. That's not the name of the burger, or they'll get confused and be like, wait, which one? And then you gotta say the full name, or you say the full name, and then they're like, what'd you say? I can't hear you.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, like it's too long, or they get confused because of the name.
Exactly.
It's like,
there you go.
too many problems.
I don't like big long.
You can
long
name
names.
it like you can give it one creative name because it's fun. It's branding, I get
something
it.
related to the restaurant or
But
the
when it gets to 5 words in
it's
the
a little
name,
much, yeah.
like or 2 lines. I've seen them where they're like 2 lines. The name's so
God.
long. I'm like, come on, man.
The Big Kahuna Wave Avalanche Burger or something.
I always
It's like,
love.
stop.
I love when you go to like a college bar and they give like, so the one down on Barley House. Shout out Barley House on SMU Boulevard. It's a great place, but some of their burgers are like, they got like the cowboy burger, and it's just because they threw jalapenos on it.
Oh boy!
Or they got like the Western burger. It's like you threw onions and like cheddar jack cheese on it. It's just something like that. I'm like, what? Like what? That's it. That's what makes it like.
See what I'm saying?
It's just so funny. They I mean, it's like I said, it's branding.
It's dumb.
But it makes me laugh because it's just like. You put one thing on it, and you're like, "This makes it
could have done so much
This
better.
makes it Southwest, or this makes
yeah.
it the." I always love when they put like cheese curds on a burger, and they're like the Wisconsin burger.
Nobody cares what the name of it is. Just give me the damn food. So, the last thing that I hate about restaurants, and you're gonna love this, salad bars. Get rid of them. Throw them away.
I think
they're the worst thing ever. They're not healthy. They're a pain in the ass to wait in line in.
they're not healthy. What do you mean?
Yeah, because people are like, oh my God, I have 17 different kinds of dressings with bacon, cheese, and...
I mean, that's your choice.
I'm just saying, though, like, salad bar...
They're giving free will, man. Like, if you want to be healthy, you can, but if you want to...
It's just a bad idea, so...
I mean,
they're not sanitary.
they're gonna be gone.
They'll never come back, so... Anything like that, get rid of it.
I will say, number one... The Fogo de Chao salad bar though is
that one's
amazing.
good. I do actually like that one.
That's the only one where I'm like I could just get the salad and be. I'm not gonna do it because I got meat there, but like I could just eat like the fish and then like and they got soup too. Oh, it's so good. But the Pizza Hut salad bar, why? Like again, why? If you're gonna eat healthy, why are you going to Pizza Hut? And I've seen people do this where they're like, oh, I'm on a diet, but it's like you're going. Look where you're going. And then also, like, dude, they're not...
That's also the one that orders a double cheeseburger, but, like, gets Diet Coke or something.
Right.
Because I'm trying to be healthy or something, so...
But
come on.
The salad bars at these places, like those type of places, which I think Pizza Hut has gotten rid of them, by the way, but when they used to be there, I always thought, man, they're not checking on that.
No way.
Number one, all that produce is outdated, period. Ugh. And also, like... No one's going and cleaning that. Like, that's really unsanitary.
That sounds terrible. So those are my main ones. I want to close it off of your worst restaurant experience of all time.
Wow. Ooh, man.
Or just one.
You got to go first. I'm going to have to think
just
about
one
that
sticks out in your mind a little bit more. It doesn't have to be the worst one ever. Just like a really bad restaurant experience that you've had. I'll go first.
I just want to think of a good one.
I'll give you some time to think. So mine was I went to a pizza place in St. Louis. It was in Old St. Charles area.
You got to call them out too.
God,
we're taking names in this one.
I'm literally blanking on the name of the restaurant though, which is because it was such a bad experience. But I go there. It's like Friday, Saturday night. I sit down, order a beer. The dude comes over and he's like, "Hey man, what are you gonna have?" I'm like, "Oh, I'll take a beer and I'm gonna have one of your deep dish pizzas or something." And he's like, "Okay, cool." Well, it takes him like 30 minutes, 45 minutes to come back, and he's like, "Hey man, what are you gonna order?" I'm like, "Dude, I ordered from you like 45 minutes ago.
You.
Can I get a beer and this pizza?" He's like, "Oh yeah."
So this is a sit-down pizza place.
This is a sit-down pizza place.
It's like a restaurant. Okay.
I'm gonna try and search for the name of it as well as I tell the story.
Was it just pizza, or was it like a restaurant that also like had pizza?
No, it was pretty much just pizza.
Okay.
I think they may have had like some garlic bread or pasta or stuff.
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
So like an Italian type restaurant.
Yeah, kind of. So the dude's like, I reorder. I'm like, all right, can I get a beer? It was Telania's. Telania's Pizza in Old St. Charles, St.
Okay.
Louis.
Not like Telania's the bar, right?
No.
Okay.
They have a pizza place too, or a different same name.
Are
Maybe
they owned by the same people?
probably.
Well, that makes sense. That would make sense.
And so I'm like, all right, I'll take this pizza. And
if no one knows what Telania's is,
Yeah.
it's an experience. For
and so I'm waiting, and I drink my beer. It's like another 45 minutes. At this point, it's an hour and a half from there. I'm like really hungry. It's like 8 o'clock. I'm like, hey man, I ordered pizza from you like about an hour ago. What's up with that? He's like, oh yeah, sorry about that. The cook forgot your order. I was like, what do you mean he forgot my order? He's like, oh yeah, he just didn't make it and he forgot it. I was like, can you put the order in again? He's like, sure, man. I'm like, okay.
This sounds like a pizza place guy.
It was terrible. And the dude was like, I don't know, fresh out of college or something, or like he was kind of a young guy. And
definitely didn't go to
I'm waiting another hour.
He's a Mizzou guy,
I've waited 2.5 hours now for this pizza.
Wow, you're dedicated.
Because I'm just chilling with my friends, drinking a beer,
so
chatting,
kind of
whatever. So I'm like,
lose track of time.
It's like 9 o'clock. I'm like, dude, where's my food now? Like, this is ridiculous. So he's like, oh yeah, so Harry. So he goes back in the kitchen, brings it out, and he brings out this soggy, like horrible looking, greasy cheese pepperoni like deep dish pizza. I'm like, dude, this is terrible.
Was it like he just slapped it together because you
it
asked
was
him,
like
or
it
was it like
melted
it was sitting there?
in the sun and then congealed, and then he put it back in the microwave oven and then reheated it up?
That's the thing, man. Dude, so many places use microwaves.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
I don't know if it was microwave or
disgusting.
it was terrible. It was literally a like sopping mess of grease and just cheese and everything.
He made it and then forgot about it and then was like, oh shoot, that guy ordered, I need to throw this back in and heat it up?
He just pulled one out of his ass or something and was just like, just use the garbage one or something or whatever. Because it's like 9:30 at night or something at the time. I'm just like, I've been waiting for 2 hours for my food, and I'm like, look, you gotta tell like the cook, like, this is inedible. Like, I can't eat this. This is.
He's like, I am the cook.
This is I am the cook. This is terrible. Like, I've been waiting for 2.5 hours for this. Like,
this is a mama's secret recipe.
This is ridiculous. Like, I'm not one to like, chat shit about something, but this is a bad experience. And so he's like,
I'm giving you a 1 on Yelp.
I'm so sorry. I can take $1 off of your order. I'm like, $1? What? He's like, I can give you a free beer. I'm like, I'll take the free beer. But
it's like a Bud
like,
Light, probably. Like,
it was a Bud Light.
So that's only giving you off like $4.
And he's like, but I'm like, I will also take a free meal. And he's like, oh, I could give you $2 off, man. I'm like, it was like $15 overall too. I'm like, bro, this was the worst experience.
Were you
I've
the
ever
only
had.
one that got the bad pizza?
Yes.
So everyone else,
got their food on time. Like,
that's the worst too. When you're the only one, you're like, "Where's my food?"
Exactly.
And then everyone looks at you. They're like, "Where's your food?" And they keep asking. And you're like,
I
don't know.
They're trying to be polite too and
frustrated.
waiting, and then like 5 minutes goes by, and I'm just like, just go ahead and eat your food. Like, clearly mine's never gonna come.
Yeah.
And when it does come, it's a piece of garbage. So I was over that place. I drank 2 beers, paid $15, didn't eat anything, and went and I don't know.
Is it still open?
I hope it's closed forever. So
I mean, it was in St. Charles, Missouri. So
yeah, I
tells
hope
you right there.
I hope it's closed forever. So yeah, don't ever go to Telania's in St. Louis because it's the worst thing.
You
ever.
didn't eat emos.
Emos is just bad quality overall. This was just a bad experience.
Not even a St. Louis.
Bad food.
Not even a St. Louis.
Yeah. All right, what's yours? I gave you some. That was a long story. So
no, that was good. That was good. It gave me time to think. So
okay.
I'll keep this quick because I have 3.
Oh,
they're different types and they're different eras. So number 1, I was like 7 or 8, and there was I don't know. I think they went out of business recently. Shoney's. Have you ever heard of that?
I've heard of Shoney's.
Shoney's is disgusting. And
Yeah.
so these were only in Wisconsin, and from Minnesota, and went over the river to Wisconsin for something. And this will always stick in my memory because I was like, I want to go to Shoney's. And I told my parents.
I've been to Shoney's before.
Yeah, man. It's probably with your grandparents.
Probably, yeah.
Like, it's so bad. It's disgusting. I don't know why I wanted to go there, but when I was like 7, I wanted to go there. So my parents were like, all right, sure, we'll go ahead. And I think they knew it was for old people. So it's like Old Country Buffet. It's a general buffet. It was so bad. Like, all the food was clearly out of date. I still remember this. Even at 7, I knew this. Like, the food was out of date. Nothing had taste. You could tell it's been sitting out all day. Like, they never changed the food.
Good God.
I mean, talk about unsanitary. Like, it was. I couldn't eat it, man. And I was not a picky eater as a kid, but like, and I loved buffets. And I loved Old Country Buffet. I loved Chinese buffets when I was a kid. This was just disgusting. I'll never forget it. It was just so bad. And
God,
and there was a bunch of just super old people in there.
Traumatic.
And I've heard people say that this place is good. I'm like, no, they're all. I know they're all.
When
terrible.
I remember going there, I was just like, this is
just
really bad quality. Like,
yeah, just flavorless food, and not only flavorless, but like expired food.
oh dang,
So,
that is
yeah,
health
just so-
standards right there.
Oh yeah. There's a reason why they're closed. So bad. But so yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is Humperdinck's. I went to Humperdinck's, which is a bar. I know they're in Dallas. I don't know if they're anywhere else.
I've never heard of that one.
There's a few of them around, but the one on Greenville Avenue in Dallas is closed. And thank God, because
Wonder why.
dude, I went there, waited 20 minutes, sat down. So it's mainly a bar, but they have food. No waiters walking around talking to everyone else but me. And I'm clearly like waiting for food, and they're just like talking to people.
Don't talk to that dude over there.
Right. And I'm like, okay, come on, man. Like, you can tell I'm gonna give you money. Like, I want to eat, want to drink. Never came. Walked past me, walked around me, trying to flag him down, just flat out ignored me.
Hello,
Seriously.
over here.
Yep.
Nope,
That's what it was like.
Ignoring you.
Yep. And then finally he comes up. He's like, "Oh, kitchen's closed."
Kitchen's
Why?
closed.
Why? Like, are you kidding me? It's a bar and grill, man. Like, you can't have like.
What
chicken
time was
wings
this? Was this like?
It's like 10 at night.
Okay, that's.
I mean, that's not an unreasonable time. It's
No.
like 2 a.m. You
Yeah.
know? And it's a bar and grill. You can have like chicken wings or something like that. That was my other thing I was going to mention that I was going to change is kitchens shouldn't close.
Okay.
Just keep them open. But yeah, so that was bad. Number 3, Papa John's. Ordered a pizza at 2 a.m.
I remember this story.
Guy
Yeah.
supposedly drove around the apartment complex and couldn't find it, apparently. It's 3 a.m. and we're like, all right, we need to call them. Like, what's going on here? We call. Guy just picks up the phone. Hey, we're closed. Okay, but I ordered my pizza an hour ago. Where is it? Oh, yeah. I checked, and the guy who delivered your order couldn't find the place. And that's it. That's all he said. I'm like, so he just drove back?
You didn't
like
take the call or something?
the guy was like, yeah, he just couldn't find it. I'm like, so he left. We checked all our phones in the group. He never called, never emailed, nothing.
Good God.
Dude just showed up and just, guess I can't find it. Sucks.
Jeez.
And then no refund. They never refunded us. We asked for a refund.
You never
we'll
got
give
your
that
money
to us.
back?
Nope. So,
Dang.
yeah, just,
The
day of reckoning will come.
The day of Don't ever order pizza at 2 a.m.
From Papa John's.
Papa John's. So.
Papa John's is gross anyway.
Those are some pretty bad ones.
Yeah, it was, I mean, yeah, it was
I had
combined, just angry memories.
I had a bad one actually a couple weeks ago. I ordered from the Hat Creek Bar and Grill or whatever right down the street.
Yeah, I've been there. I was wondering. Very limited menu for being a burger place.
Yeah, order some burgers.
That's a chain too, so
burger is delivered. It's like a complete mess. It's super soggy, like the bun's dissolved.
Hey, check out our food delivery episode.
Yes.
Bunch of episodes back.
That'll teach you how to properly deliver food. But anyway, like the food is a complete mess and everything. But I'm like, you know what, it's fine.
Is that Hat Creek's fault or is that the delivery service's fault?
No, I think it's the Hat Creek's fault because they literally piled on like as many things as they could, and I think they just took a bun out of like the dishwasher and was like, "Well, just use this, slap that on. It's all super wet and gross and everything."
It's like the Telania's Pizza Place.
Exactly. But the worst part was, so I'm eating, and then my girlfriend is eating some tater tots, and she finds a rock in her food, like 2 little baby pebbles.
How?
And I'm like, I don't know how. I don't know if they were, but I'm like, okay, well, that's ridiculous. So I call them up. I'm like, hey, just want to let you guys know, we're not really having a good, experience of eating your food.
You're 70 years old.
My
man.
girlfriend found a rock in her food.
I actually called them. That's funny.
Well, because I want to make sure that they're aware of the issue. Like, there's no way that
check your.
I'm not gonna let anybody get away with getting a rock in food.
I'm just picturing a bunch of people like opening up the tots and be like, "It's a rock in here."
There's a rock
going through.
And so the lady's like, I'm gonna have to get my manager. I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I'm waiting for like 5 minutes, and then she's like, yeah, if you we can't do anything for you. I'm like, what do you mean? There's a rock in our food, like. It's not been
my tater tot.
It's not been very great. And she's like, well, if you bring it back up, we can remake it. I'm like, can you just have an order, sent out or something? Or
yeah, you got it delivered.
I'm like, or can I get a refund? She's like, you got to bring it back up here. I'm like, I'm not gonna go over there, bring you the food that's half eaten, and
I will show you this rock.
I was like,
tater tot.
That's not really a solution.
Slam it on the counter.
Can you do something else? And she's like, nope, can't do anything, can't help you. I was like, okay, so apparently you don't care at all. So that was another terrible food experience.
Yeah,
for me,
that sounds even worse.
That was bad.
Wow.
One thing was just bad customer service. The other one was just bad food. And bad service, I guess. But
I mean, yeah, that's a nail in the coffin right there. They won't even at least just say, "Hey, next one's on us." Or
something. Find a solution instead of just saying, "Sorry, can't help you."
Yeah.
And not even try.
Yeah, because do you think?
I told her that too. I said,
those people don't care if you're going to go back there. It's not like they own the company.
And I said, so you're not even going to try to help find a different solution? She's like, nope, I don't care. I was like, cool. All right, never coming back here. Lost my business. So.
That's crazy. I mean, also it's a burger place, and they only have 5 burgers on the menu.
Yeah, very very limited. So. No.
Also, my last story is, I forget the name of this place. It's good. But so I'm not knocking on their food. The waiter proceeded to hit on the 50-year-old woman that was sitting to the table next to me, and again in clear. Maybe people just hate me. Maybe they're like, screw you, man. I don't want to.
They look at you and just like, that's SOBs.
He took my order, didn't write it down. Side note: write down your orders, waiters. I hate when they do I can remember it. He didn't write down my order. Went hit on this woman for a half hour. Was literally sitting next to her. Waiter sitting next to her and talking to her at her table, and then gets up, comes back half an hour later. Hey man, what'd you order again?
Okay. It's like my dude who forgot to put in the order.
Right, okay, how about you take my order, go to the kitchen, then hit on the lady next to you? You don't take my order and then go sit down with someone who could be your mom and then hit on her for a half hour.
Oh, jeez.
And then forget. Oh, it was, at least the food was good. But,
oh, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They're lucky I don't remember the name of that restaurant. I'm not shouting them out.
Well, we've shouted out some other restaurants, so don't go to Hat Creek and don't go to
Shoney's,
Telania's or Shoney's or
Papa John's.
Even
though the reckoning will come.
Yes.
I know everything about the pizza category.
Oh, well, I've eaten 40 pizzas in 30 days. So.
No, he didn't really do that.
Well, he lied.
He admitted he's a liar.
What a liar. But if you like what we talked about in today's episode and want to continue the conversation, hit us up afterwards. We're on Twitter, YouTube, every social media. Let us know what your thoughts are.
Tell us your stories.
Stories. What are your most hated things about restaurants? What's your worst restaurant experience? And what do you want to see changed for the full return of dining out? Share us your thoughts because we'd love to hear them.
We do.
Stay tuned for our Twitter for more episodes as well. Check us out on Twitter at Weekendology Pod. We're on YouTube at Weekendology Podcast. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, Lionfish Promotions, for all of your promo gear that you need.
They're swaggy.
Swaggy P Golden State level.
Woo.
Yeah, exactly. You end up with championship. And don't forget to check out the Big Red World on Twitter at Big Red Social, and their website is bigredworld.org. Do you have anything to close it off, Aaron, before we end it here?
To quote Swaggy P, I don't want to do this interview right now. I just want to go turn up.
Oh, all right. So that's what we're doing. It's Thirsty Thursday here today at the Weekendology Podcast Studio. So check us out. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. We're on iHeartRadio. We've got new episodes every Friday. So until next time, we'll see you guys then.